I am Captain Logan, and this is day 271 of Spawn Year. After all that work Logan did in attempting to make sense of Spawn's always deplorable, self-serving behavior and a grand scheme to finally force Spawn to accept the kind of man he was and forge ahead, making the world safer to pay for all the horrors he was responsible for and the lives he ruined, all leading up to a true self-sacrifice as he took responsibility for the part of Night of a Thousand Clowns that was his fault. All it takes to turn him right back into that shameful, blame-assigning creature again is a scared and confused Wiccan girl and a man looking for a fight who Spawn did wrong and for whom, more than likely, an apology would go a long way. Spawn's behavior is so mind-bogglingly predictable here. I was spot on in my predictions about how Spawn would handle Nyx's suicide request. He's totally insensitive, doesn't care why she did what she did, only that he was wronged by her and he wants retribution. Nyx explains what happened in hell, profusely apologizing for violating Spawn's trust by taking a part of his symbiote. He eases up slightly as she explains her deal with the Discord demon, who's listening to the whole conversation literally as a fly on the wall. But before Nyx has the chance to tell Spawn and the reader, Hogwarts left the other side of their argument a mystery until now, what she promised Nzizihil in exchange for her passage into Cagliostro's Funland, who shows up but Redeemer in an attempt to rescue his savior from the big bad wolf. Honestly, Spawn was probably going to begrudgingly help Nyx through this and talk her out of suicide, but the way he handles Redeemer, it makes me wonder. Okay, fine, I guess that last part of my prediction wasn't fully addressed, so here's one haiku. An angel flies above, while a girl wails into the wind. The Hellspawn swears. I never did get the hang of those. Anyway, Spawn demonstrates a distinct double standard, having just declared the injustice he feels has been done toward him more important than Nyx or even her grief about that. He tells Redeemer he couldn't care less about his claim of vengeance against Spawn. How cold can you get when even a piece of your costume riding around on Nyx admits you gravely wronged this person, but you can't muster a simple apology or even a, hey man, let's talk this out? I can't believe I'm finding myself siding with Redeemer against Spawn. Usually that battle would be heaven versus hell with Spawn caught in the middle. Here, there's clearly a bad guy, and it's our protagonist. Maybe I shouldn't cast Redeemer as the gallant hero here, since this fight isn't about saving Nyx once it gets going. It's really about retribution against Spawn for abandoning him in hell after Redeemer helped him. But while I might not personally believe in vengeance as an acceptable reason to start a fight, and to the death no less, Eddie has an honor code built into him as a Redeemer, which seems to allow for this. At least he has a code and shows his adversary the respect Spawn didn't and still doesn't give him. He formally challenges Spawn, who hides in the shadows and tricks Redeemer with a fake cloak. Redeemer says, "Let us be warriors. Come and face me. I will be merciful." Spawn mocks him and refuses him even the dignity of a fair fight out in the open. When Redeemer won't take that and says, "Don't mock my pain," I can't help but kind of be on his side. What is Spawn's problem? Redeemer is one more in a long line of people wrongly affected by Spawn's reckless self-absorption, and I thought his new mission was to rectify those. He's got a perfect opportunity here, and besides the excuse of he's just teed off because bad stuff happened to him recently, I can't understand why he's being such a child. If he was apologetic and handled this like a grown-up, and Redeemer was still thrusting his sword in his face, I'd be in his corner. At this point, Spawn's just reacting again, and as the protagonist of this story, I have no idea what he wants anymore, save revenge. He's regressed all the way back to, "You traitor!" Well, at least here he knows who actually hurt or betrayed him, but he also won't own up to his own betrayals, so who cares? Spawn's about to deliver the death blow at the end, and even the blurb for next issue casts Spawn as the bad guy. Mammon has gained the upper hand. He has gained from Nyx what he has wanted all along, her power. Can this power possibly save the Redeemer from Spawn's wrath? It makes it sound like it's Redeemer's book and Spawn's his arch nemesis. But I really like the reveal that Mammon was the Discord demon all along. Finally, I buy one of his long cons is actually making some kind of sense and getting him something he knows he can use against Spawn. It is a bit of a narrative cheat not to give us the other end of the agreement when it was made for the sake of cheap suspense, when that's information Nyx had and she's been a major POV character. But oddly, I never once wondered about it. Her power links her to Spawn, and so now that Maman has cunningly obtained it, he may have significant power over Spawn. That also intelligently explains why Maman told Nyx he couldn't find Spawn, but we kept seeing him in Spawn's mind. He was lying to her to throw her off his real objective. Logan wanted me to wonder about that discrepancy, and it paid off nicely. The one thing that's still odd is why Nyx would think to bond the Spawn costume to her power in the first place, especially since when she did it, she had no idea what the costume even was. That reads like a flimsy excuse to connect them so Maman would have a reason to go after Nyx. The action in the Redeemer Spawn fight is exciting and a nice change of pace. This book has been a lot of walking and talking lately, and there's a great mix of splash pages and varied panel layouts. But sometimes, still, it's hard to tell what's happening in a close-up because the characters are too sloppy, almost gelatinous looking. And can we all agree that this should forevermore be Redeemer's catchphrase? Look upon me now and know the blinding light of vengeance. Yeah, he really does need his own book. Signed, Captain Logan.